Welcome. I'm Kinetic Symphony. I hunt down and report on mysterious and weird true stories, from glitches to the paranormal. Case file number 170, written by Catgirl330. It's just a water bottle, but now it's gone. A few nights ago, at bedtime, my 45 female, 3 kids, and I came up to get them ready for bed. I first came into my bedroom to put down an armful of things, including a large half-full smart water bottle. I always bring up a bottle of water to drink during the evening, and I always bring it to my nightstand and set it on this little tile coaster that is on my nightstand. I didn't leave the room, but continued to sort things around the room for a few minutes, and I remember looking at my nightstand at one point to see if I put my phone down there and seeing the water bottle on the coaster at the same time. My son, 10, came in the room and hopped up on the bed to chat. He was lounging there as we chatted about what was going on the next day at school for him. I had to leave the room and he came with me to check on my youngest daughter. Then he followed me back in and hopped back up and now was lying with his head up on the pillows. We continued talking, and at one point when I said he should start getting ready for bed, he said, "What time is it?" And we both looked at the time on my digital clock on my nightstand. Now in hindsight, I recall that when we looked at the clock, the nightstand looked open and clear. The clock was visible, as in no water bottle blocking it, as the coaster is right in front of it. As we continued to chat for another 30 seconds, my mind was also processing the thought that I then spoke out loud. I said, "Hey, where's my water bottle?" I started to look around for it, and my son is a helpful kid, so he started looking for it too. We checked the other dresser tops, the floor in front of the nightstand, my bathroom counter. Nope. So I said, maybe I took it to drink with me when I checked on my daughter. We then checked all surfaces in the other 3 bedrooms, including my oldest, whose room I hadn't been in yet. It was just gone. I can be absent-minded, but I really didn't understand what happened. I was sure I didn't move it. A minute later, I said, I'm going to check my bedroom again. Lo and behold, I walk in and the water bottle is sitting on the coaster in front of my clock again, exactly where I'd left it the first time. For such a small thing, this was really unsettling. I called my son in and said, "Look, I came in and my water bottle's here." He came in, was surprised and confused like me, and we talked about it. How could it be there? Etc. He even noted that when he was lying on the bed, he could see the clock clearly when he checked the time, which verified to him that it wasn't there because he said he would have had to look around it. And I had put my pink-colored flavoring in it, the individual packets of strawberry lemonade mix type, so it is pretty noticeable to see, not just transparent water that would simply bend the clock numbers behind it, but also with a pink hue to it. So we really couldn't explain it. Against my own knowledge of what I knew to be true, I even asked him if he moved it as a joke. He denied it wholeheartedly, and I knew this was true because he had been right with me as I left the room and searched everywhere else, and there was no way he could have ran in front of me back to my room to replace it without me seeing. It's just one little hallway. Also, my son is a sensitive kid who does not like pranks played on him, and he doesn't pull them on others for that very reason. So that's the story. I still don't understand what happened, and although it's a small thing, it's really bugging me. I have read about this on here more and more, and it's just the weirdest thing. Case notes, file number 170. So it's an even more pronounced glitch, since you had a cute witness with you. It is crazy, isn't it? There are too many items that vanish for this to not be a real phenomena. I like to attribute it to items being noted into the simulation, after they're assembled. But then the computer processing this simulation hitches and forgets the index of that item momentarily, so it phases out until the computer corrects the mistake. Something like that. We're just players who witness these glitches. Case file number 171, written by lilwinemom. Elevator, Destination Oblivion. Last night, my friend, we will call him George, and I went outside George's apartment complex to pick up our DoorDash order. We ended up getting downstairs and outside early because the app warned us way in advance of his arrival, so we decided to just sit on the bench and have a cigarette until the driver got there. Meanwhile, 2 frat boy looking guys walk into the building talking and laughing while hustling some liquor inside. I briefly made eye contact with one of the guys when a cicada clicked and squawked in the dude's face while walking in, and we both laughed. About 1 minute later, after these guys walk in, a decent amount of time, our driver arrived with our order. We gathered our things, then headed inside. As we walked in and up to the elevators, which are in plain sight in front of you, I saw on the left elevator that it was about to fully shut, but I saw 2 legs from the boy I made eye contact with before, standing in there. George quickly pressed the elevator button as soon as it shut to catch the elevator ride with those 2 guys. But when it opened, there was no one in there. Now hold up. I know you're probably thinking, well, the elevator probably just left and another one came right after, right? Well, here's where you're wrong and why me and my friend are so freaked out. As soon as we realized there was no one in the elevator, George and I looked at each other and at the same time just went, "What?" Immediately, we're trying to explain this away. There must have been another cart. But we were on the ground floor and no other floor or garage level below. And if their elevator cart had already left, the other elevator to our right would have opened instead of the one the dude had just been standing in. We got into the elevator and didn't press any other buttons, and then attempted to open the elevator door that was behind the car to see if the garage level opened. But after about 10 rapid presses and waiting, that door never opened either. So there's absolutely no way this one dude, or 2 of them, were in there, and we just didn't see the second one, could leave that elevator cart within a split second between the door being shut and us clicking the button to open it back up. There's nowhere to go. Case notes, file number 171. Elevators are very strange. There have been many oddities reported in at least 5 different experiences that I've read in the last year alone. One I remember was a young girl that took an elevator to a floor, the floor she was staying on, but the person in the room that was hers wasn't her parents. It was an old lady. Eventually her mom found her, but it turns out she was missing for half an hour. They even had cameras showing her going in the elevator, but never coming out in any other floor in that time frame. I have no explanation for why elevators would cause this effect. They're just boxes moving up and down. I guess our own little Schrodinger's cat boxes. If you enjoyed these stories, give the video a like.